YouTube. Let me get the Facebook comments going as well so I can see what you guys are commenting. Hello guys, we're starting in just one moment. Want to make sure everything is set up so I can see everyone's comments. Alright, the video is live and ready to see comments. Cool. Hello everyone and welcome to Utopia. I wanted to make a quick video to tell you that power supplies are back in stock. Basically, during this whole pandemic, everyone's staying at home. Everyone is building computers to play games, building computers to do work, whatever their needs is. Everyone is buying all these computer parts to build their computer, myself included, as well as Jeremy, my business partner. We're both building new computers because we need more powerful computers for streaming, more powerful computer for gaming, and therefore we need to buy parts. And when we start looking for parts, we realize all the parts are sold out. Like, what's going on? Well, either they're sold out or they're price gouged, meaning they're 2, 3, or 4 times more expensive than the price they should be if they're even in stock. And finding a power supply in stock at a reasonable price is almost impossible. And what makes it even worse is that we're picky. We want something that's good quality, has good warranty, that's quiet and reliable. So you can throw all that in a mix and you're paying a hefty premium unless there's finally some stock of good quality power supplies that are selling at normal price. And that's why I'm making this video. So hello again and welcome to Utopia. Today we're talking about power supply, and I found a great deal on a power supply that I'm gonna share with you right now. So if you click on the Amazon link, you can see it right here. Let me make myself smaller so you can see the power supply. I actually just purchased 2 of these just a few minutes ago before making this video because I wanted to make sure that myself and Jeremy, my business partner, we both got this awesome power supply at this price. It's hardly ever in stock, and when it's in stock, it's always much higher than this price. In fact, if you go to Newegg, it was in stock yesterday, but now it's not in stock, and it's at $205 or something at Newegg. A crazy price. In fact, let me actually show you this at Newegg. If I just do a search for this power supply, you can see, okay, yes, at Newegg, if you click on it, it will tell you, well, this is not the same one. And the reason why we want this particular one, I'll show you in just 1 minute. But if we do a Google search for this power supply, you will see this is the 550 watt version. This is not the same one. See, this is the one we're looking for. The GM7, no, the GM750 is not, because we're looking for the GX. Oh no, we are looking for the GM750. No. So okay, so even at Newegg, you want a nice GX, yes, the GX is the one we want. So the GX 750 at Newegg, either sold out or it's at $214 at Newegg right now. So if you go to Amazon, ta-da, $119, shipped with Prime. So, and also with Amazon's awesome customer service too. So if you have any problems, you can always return it and Amazon will take care of you. Or if you have any problem with the shipment, it doesn't get to you or it comes to you damaged, Amazon will take care of you. They're much easier to work with than a lot of other companies. Newegg is okay, but their customer service is a little bit difficult to deal with compared to Amazon. Amazon is like the best in customer service. That's why everyone buys from Amazon. But also that's a two-edged sword, right? Because everyone buys from Amazon, they're always out of stock. So I am really happy that this is in stock, and I want to share with you guys so you guys can pick this up right now because it's in stock. Well, technically it's not in stock like right now, but it will be in stock in just a few days, maybe a week or so, and it'll ship out soon, quite soon after that. So order it now, have it in your hands so you can build your PC. Really good price it's a really good price for what it is. In fact, you might be able to find some other power supply for a little bit cheaper, but trust me, you're gonna be lower quality in terms of the efficiency rating. This is an 80 plus gold. You'll be lower in terms of the power supply rating, the 750 watt, and also you don't have the quietness of the Seasonic power supply. Seasonic is like the top brand for power supply manufacturer out there. So if you go with any brand, Seasonic is always the best brand. And also, this is not just their typical power supply. It's their above. It's like they're higher than mid tier. So it's not top tier. It's not their best power supply because their best power supply will cost you a bit more. But this is above their average one in that they give you 10-year warranty. They have power supplies that they only give 7-year warranty. So this is good. They give you 10-year warranty. and it's a very good package. Oh, and the last thing is, I forgot, it's fully modular. That's the other great thing about this power supply. So you're getting hit with so many good features. Let me wrap all the good features again. So it's 80 plus gold, right? Number one. It's 750 watt rating. It's got 10-year warranty. It's got a quiet fan. I believe it even turns off when it doesn't need to be powered on, or when it doesn't need to be cooled. So if you're like idling your computer, it actually turns off. So again, 80 plus gold rating, 750 watt power supply rating, quiet fan, 10-year warranty, fully modular, coming from a brand called Seasonic and shipped from Amazon. So you get great Amazon customer service, all for $119.99. That's $120 for a really good power supply. This is a fantastic power supply. So let's go back and talk about some of the features. So what does 80 plus gold mean? And let me actually pull up a Wikipedia article on it if I can find it. I did a search on this earlier just to make sure that I know what I'm talking about. I usually go for the gold. And the reason for it is because there's different ratings of power supplies. And the higher the rating, the more efficiency it is at the given wattage, right? So basically, the 80 plus gold that we're looking at, it's going to be efficient at 20% load, 50% load, and 100% load. So you can see how it's always, it's plus 80, so it's over 80. So you're at 87, 90, 87 at these ratings. So we're looking at a 750 watt power supply, right? So at 750 watt, it's going to be 87% efficient, meaning it's going to do a really good job of converting the AC power from your wall to the DC power that your computer needs, and it's going to be 87% efficient. Of course, there's some efficiency loss because it doesn't translate exactly. There's heat generated and you're converting from AC to DC, so you're losing some power. But 80+% efficiency is really good. You can see if you go to something like a platinum, you're not getting that much better. You're getting like maybe 2% here, 2% here, 2% here, and you're spending a lot more for platinum. Whereas if you drop down to something like an 80 plus, this is like the bare minimum that you want, you're dropping quite a bit. So 80 plus gold is a sweet spot. Platinum is kind of, you're splurging. You want to spend more money, but it doesn't really benefit you at all, hardly, like 2% at each power rating, right? But if you splurge, if you do the opposite splurge and try to cheap out and buy like 80 plus, the white one, you're gonna miss out in some efficiency. And it doesn't mean that if it's lower efficiency, it doesn't work. It just means that to get, so say you're using a 750 watt power supply and you're using it at 750 watt at 100% load, right? That means you're gonna spend more money on power because it's only 80% efficient. Whereas if you get an 80 plus gold, it's 87% efficient. So you're going to spend a little bit less money on converting the power from your wall to your computer. So efficiency means less money spent on power if you're actually using it at these loads. And of course, you're going to be using it at these loads because 20% load, 50%, not 100% load. So you're saving roughly 10%, maybe no, I would say between 7 to 10% more power. You're saving 7 to 10% more power than if you're getting an 80 plus power supply. Now, if you want to save more power, you can go to an 80 platinum, but you're only saving 2% more, so it's not really worth it. So 80 plus gold is a really good sweet spot. So now going back to the power supply, we got the 80 plus gold here. So it's 80% plus, more than 80% efficiency at 20%, 50%, and 100% load. In fact, it's between 87 to 90% load, 87 to 9% efficiency at those loads. So 80 plus gold, good stuff. 80%, I'm covering up the, there you go, 80% gold, 80 plus gold. Very good rating for power supply efficiency. Next is, this is a beautiful power supply, and it's got really quiet fans in there, and it has fan controls to keep it very quiet as well. And just the build quality of Seasonic power supply, they're always just through the roof. Seasonic is in the market of making power supply, and they are definitely A tier, top of the list power supplies out there. There are other brands that compete pretty well with them, but they are always the top of the line in terms of quality and reliability, and also quiet. They're very quiet power supply. And trust me, the more quiet your computer is, the better you will feel when you're working in a room and not have to hear that winding fan noise the whole time. So there's the power supply in all its glory. It's a beautiful design case, just clean, machine well, and just looks nice, right? Now, the part that is also a perk of this power supply is that it's fully modular. And that's not something to be taken lightly, because if you notice, there's actually no wires coming out of this power supply. Well, not yet, at least, because everything's modular. That means you can plug in whichever wire you need to pull power from this power supply. And it comes with all the included cable, of course. For example, you look right here, all the cables are included. You just need to use the cable you need instead of having all the wires all over the place. And this is great for people that want to customize their PC, because they might actually buy aftermarket wires, like braided wires or color wires, or even RGB colored lighting wires that light up at night or light up in your case. So whatever you want to do, you have the full flexibility because you're using a fully modular power supply. Now let's compare that to a non-modular power supply. Let me take you to an example. Maybe just go to Amazon, right? And we just look for power supply. And let's just find for a cheap one, right? And let's just use the same rating just so that we're consistent in price. So a 750 watt power supply. Let's look at something else, like an EVGA, right? This one is semi-modular. That's kind of okay too, but you can already see the semi-modular. You already have one huge nasty cable coming out of the power supply that you can't remove. Some of the other things are modular, but not this main one. And it's kind of nice to have everything modular, because again, if you want to replace all the cables in your computer and have them matching, or thin ribbon cables or RGB cables, you have the flexibility. Also, when you're installing it, it's nice because when you want to loop wires, you can loop the wires first and then plug into the power supply later, versus having to loop the power supply and the wire all at the same time. Just small details like that, right? And now if you want to compare that to something that's not modular, let me show you one that's non-modular, like this one. You see how the price is cheaper on these ones? This is an example of a much cheaper power supply. This is a 80 plus white, so this is the lowest rating here. And also it has all the wires are coming out of here. So this is a non-modular power supply. You see this big coil of wire. Well, you gotta remember to route all that wire throughout your computer and try to run it as neatly as possible. And of course, there's a bunch of wires that you probably don't need. You just have to find places to tuck it away. Now, going back to our Seasonic power supply, fully modular. That means any wire you don't need, just don't install it. Then you keep it in your box outside of your computer, so it's nice and organized. Again, it comes with all the cables you need. And if you want to, you can go aftermarket and get really nice either rounded cables or RGB cables or whatever type of cables, and install it to your heart's content. Also, the inside of it is just built with quality. So power supply can vary a lot, right? Because the power supply is not like a very modern piece of technology. Power supply has been back since the days of just DC, because basically you're converting AC, alternate current from your wall, to a direct current DC that is used to power your computer. So there's always these capacitors and these coils that convert the power. So it's just simple. You can buy the cheapest parts and you can still make it work, but that's where the efficiency comes, right? The cheaper parts aren't as efficient. And also, cheap parts also whine. They make noise, because you know how when you're at the power tower, you hear bzz, 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 whiny noise? Well, that's because they're not well shielded, and also because those are really huge power supply. So inside a computer, you have similar setup, right? You have capacitors, coils, and some chipsets and whatnot. And if you use good quality parts, they're more efficient, they generate less heat, and they don't make noise. And also, if you isolate them and shield them well, that also helps too, because you see how Seasonic goes as far as shielding all these components, because shielding also provides better resistance to interference between the components and also reduces the noise level too. Oh yes, I forgot to mention, the case has good mesh for airflow as well. So good airflow mesh design and good quality parts, good quality components inside, reduces the heat, increases the efficiency, and also lowers the noise. Good stuff with Seasonic power supply. and it's just a really nice design. I like it. And fully modular, as we mentioned before. Only install the cables you need, and don't install the cables you don't need. So you have a very clean, elegant installation. And these are all the cables that it comes with, and you got the links. Oh yeah, another thing is link-wise, right? Just in case the link doesn't work out for you, you can get a longer cable. Whereas if you go with something like a Thermaltake power supply, you're stuck with the link that you're given, buddy. You can't remove the cable, you can't extend the cable, or not easily at least. But yeah, it's just terrible. Whereas with a fully modular power supply, you got all these cables, but if you need longer cable, you can get aftermarket cables that are longer for your custom build. So fully modular power supply is very, very good to have. And of course, the fan design, I mean, Seasonic is in the business of making power supply for a very, very long time. They know how to make their power supply super efficient, super quiet as well. So they also invest in good fan designs. The blade is, I believe, patented as well. If not patented by them, but patented by a different manufacturer, whoever makes the fan blades, to produce good airflow but low noise. And also the same thing with the internal motors of the fan, producing efficiency but less noise, less whine as well. And here's the efficiency curve. And basically at 80 plus efficiency, and you're using it at 115 volts, I believe it's a darker line here, you're always at over 80%. And this plot is pretty similar to what we were expecting over at Wikipedia. You can see that everything is above 85%. It's probably closer to 87% because this is 87.5%. So at 20% load, you're at 87%. At 50% load, you're at 90%. And then at 100% load, you're around at 87% again. So super efficient. And we're looking at the darker blue line. I know the two lines look similar in colors, but the darker blue line is the 150 volt, which is what the power rating you would see if you are in the United States. 230 volt is if you're in other countries, they use a different power rating there. And then silent mode. Oh, okay, so this is where it talks about the silence. Oh, hey, the silencer joined our stream. Thanks for joining in. Hey, what's going on, man? What's up, G? Oh, hey, the funny thing is your name is the silencer, right? We're actually talking about the cooling mode and how this particular power supply has a silent mode. So you came in at the right time. Thanks for checking out the stream, Miss Silencer. Always appreciate you. Hopefully you and Stephanie are having a great weekend and spending a lot of quality time together, enjoying the weekend, enjoying the nice, relaxing day here. Also, don't forget to like this video and thumbs up if you haven't done so already. Much appreciated. So we're talking about power supply, and if you're building a PC, you're looking for a power supply, and pretty much all the power supplies right now are out of stock or they're priced really high. And to find a good one like the one I have linked down below, the Seasonic Focus GX750, it's almost impossible to get this price. In fact, I checked the same power supply at Newegg and it's selling for $215. But at Amazon right now, it's selling for only $120, and I just picked up two today. I literally bought this right before making the video. I bought one for myself and one for my business partner, Jeremy. We're both building computers now because everyone is building computers right now because we're all at stay-at-home, shelter in place. So people are building computers because they need faster computers for whatever the work they're doing, whether it's software development, graphics development, coding, anything, music production, anything, right? But also for us, myself and my business partner, we need beefier computers because we're live streaming and we're also playing a lot of games now. So we want beefier graphics card and beefier CPU. So also we need beefier power supply. So that's why we're picking up a 750 watt power supply. So now let me go back to when we're talking about the efficiency rating and how the silencer came in just when I was talking about the silent mode. Oh, hey, the silencer just comments again. He says he's chilling, watching people using the app and my Firewire Stick TV. Oh, sweet! You're using the app and watching Fire Stick TV. Sweet, right on, man. And you guys are good. She's in Canada. Oh yeah, she's in Canada, but you're in Reddit. Dang, that kind of sucks. Oh right, you're watching it on a tablet. You can also thumbs up in a tablet too. Don't forget, thumbs up the video. Much appreciated. Thanks, man. Hopefully you're enjoying your day, and thanks again for stopping by the stream. So we're talking about the Stylus Mode, right? So here's where the Fanless Mode comes in. This is pretty sweet because if you are only using between 0 to 30% load, which means you're pretty much running your computer at idle, your graphics card is just not being used, it's just displaying Windows desktop, for example, and your CPU is just chilling, then your actual power supply is fanless, it's quiet, it's not been spinning. Then when you're using about 30 to 50% of the load, then it goes into the silent mode. The fan spins, but it's pretty much inaudible. It's just chilling too. But once you start ramping up between 50 to 100% load, then the fan starts to spin up slowly and starts to speed up. And this is why also you want to get like a little bit of a bigger power supply than you need, because then a larger power supply will run cooler when you're not using a lot of the power. But you don't want to go overboard. You don't want to buy like a 1,000 watt power supply or 1,200 watt power supply when you only need like 750 watt. Technically, we only probably need 650 watt, maybe even get away with 600 watt, but I'm splurging a little bit, going with 750 watt, just because if you look at the price, right, we got a 650 watt power supply here that Amazon sells, but that's saving you $5. I'd rather spend $5 more and get a 750 watt power supply than save $5, right? And then of course, if I want to go even lower, I can get a 550 watt power supply. But then now this one is sold out too, because it was in stock just before I started making this video. This one was $110, but still, I don't want to save another $5 to go just to 550 watt. That's why I picked up 2 of these 750 watt power supply. Really recommend them, guys. These are cream of the crop power supply. They're quiet, they're high quality, they're efficient, they're fully modular, meaning you can replace all the cables or not. You can either use your own cables or you can use the cables included, but you don't have to use all the cables, which means it makes your computer installation look a lot cleaner and not messy. And if you're into RGB, you can replace your cables with RGB cables and they look sweet. You got the fan controls in fanless, silent, and cooling mode. You got the 10-year warranty, and this is not something to take for granted. Seasonic is really good at customer service, and they'll take care of you in warranty. And they don't just give 10-year warranty on all their power supply. They only give it to their top tier power supply. Even their Platinum Series power supply gets 10 years, but their lower end power supply, guess what? They only get 7 years. I think if you go to Newegg, you can see, okay, so Newegg says a 750 watt power supply. This thing is $215 at Newegg. Remember, it's only $120 on Amazon, so definitely get it on Amazon. That's why I'm making this whole video, because I couldn't find it at this price anywhere. At Newegg, they're selling for $215, and then I went on Amazon and I found it for $120. In fact, the funny thing is, if you try to search for this actual power supply on Amazon, you can't find it. Check this out. If I go to Amazon and I search for this power supply, I can't even find it. Oh, well, it's here as a sponsored link now, but it wasn't here earlier. So if you look for it, you see this one, this is not it. Oh, it is it. Wait, is it? Is it? No, this is a totally different brand. This is not even Seasonic, and it's the same price, right? So you can't find it anywhere. The only reason why it shows up, and now it's gone, the sponsor listing is gone. So you can't find it, because if you click on here, you see, oh, well, this is a GM750, but they're selling for $161. So what's going on, right? So definitely click on the link on the live stream, because that's the only way you can get this price at $119 on Amazon. And you can order it right now. It's gonna be in stock in July 29th and shipped right away. This is like the most efficient, well, not the most efficient, but a very good power supply that's in stock, and it's very fitting for most gaming build right now. 750 watt is plenty for what you need. 80 plus gold, good rating, fully modular, so that you have a clean case installation, very quiet operations, and 10-year warranty. And it comes from a brand that is top of the line in terms of power supply, Seasonic. So really good stuff here. So yeah, so the silencer says, not sure. Oh, hey, gin and Pepsi tonight. Always partying, always chilling, my friend. Living life. I love your attitude. I love the way that you're just enjoying life. And thanks for spreading love. Thanks for checking out the stream. And thanks for a thumbs up. I saw you add a thumbs up. Much appreciate that as well, my friend. So in terms of also what it comes with a whole bunch of stuff. Let's check out this video real quick and let's see what the marketing video is all about. So the GX series, 80 plus gold. Just look at that. It's a beautiful box. You got the 10-year warranty, Seasonic, brand that you can trust. Oh wow, you got some stop motion animation for you. Things fly out. You got the whole bag here of all your cables. You got the power supply. Ooh, the power supply is wrapped in a nice like silk type case or sleeve bag. Wow, you got the screws to mount it. You got the power supply. You got the modular cables. Oh, everything looks so nice. That is legit. That looks so good. That looks good. You got CPU, PCIe cable, SATA drive, Molex cable, SATA 3 drive cables. Oh, look at that. Look at all those cables. Wow, they really took their time to make this video nice. I'm gonna put it all back in the box, ready to ship it to you if you order it now. 120 bucks in stock end of this month from Seasonic by Amazon, shipped to your door, 10-year warranty. You got an 80 plus gold, 750 watt power supply, fully modular, and very quiet operations. Check that out. So, oh hey, there we are live right now talking about this power supply. So, of course, the next question is, you guys are thinking, well, okay, so 750 watt power supply. Do I really need 750 watt power supply? Well, that's a age-old question, and everyone has this question when they're building their PC, especially if you're building your first one. And you can always go to any power supply calculator. For example, Seasonic has a power supply calculator. You can go here, and you can enter the stuff into it. Let this page load real quick. It takes a while, but while that's load, oh there it is. Okay, so here's the Seasonic calculator. You enter in your motherboard, your CPU, all your devices, and it'll calculate for you. I kind of like a different page better. Be Quiet is another brand of power supply, and I actually like their power supply calculator better because it just looks nicer. So let's just use their power supply calculator, and I'll show you how my system is put together. My system, as well as Jeremy, my business partner, we're building a very similar system. So our configuration, we're building an AMD computer, and we are building an AM4 socket, which is all the Ryzen current generation Ryzen chipset, and we're using the Ryzen 9. We're using a 3950, but here we have the 3900. It's pretty close because 3950 is just a higher bin of the 3900 chip, and it has a little bit more processor. So okay, so I'll make a little bit margin for the higher processor that I have. So we're talking about SATA drives. How many SATA drives are we gonna have? Let's just be conservative. This says 2. Let's look at PATA, parallel ATA drives. Probably maybe 2 if I decide to have 2. RAM, we're probably gonna have 2 chips of RAM. We might have 4 if we want to expand it more, but 2 is more efficient for the Ryzen platform right now. 2 chips because it's a dual channel chipset like the X570 that we're using for a Ryzen chipset. It favors 2 RAM slots over 4 just because it's more efficient that way. So we end up using 2. And then graphics card, so we're definitely just gonna have 1. We're not crazy doing SLI, and we're using an NVIDIA card because NVIDIAs are good for streaming. They have hardware in there they call the NVINC encoder that helps you stream and game at the same time, as well as just helping to render the streams more efficiently. So if you're using vMix or OBS to stream, NVIDIA has an NVINC encoder that helps improve the streaming. So that's why we went with NVIDIA. We got, you're gonna love this, guys. We got the RTX 2070 Super. We didn't want to spend too much on gaming because we're not doing 1440p gaming, we're not doing 4K gaming, but we are going to try the ray tracing. That's why we got the RTX line. So we decided the 270 Super is just really high end in terms of what we need. It's not super high end, but it's there in the upper end of video quality graphics. For 1080p, it's going to blow everything we throw in it out of the water. And then fans, oh yeah, we're gonna have some nice fans. Let's say we have 4 fans and we are not gonna use water cooling. And are we gonna use USB 3.1 for power transmission? Not really. We're gonna use it for some of our appliances, but it's not really used for power transmission. We're gonna use it to power our HT60S Plus, which is a Elgato capture card here. So we'll use it to use that and a couple other things. And will we overclock our GPU, CPU? Probably not, just because we don't have too much time to tinker around with that, and we want something that's stable out of the box, so we're not going to overclock. And let's just calculate that. So what do we need? We probably need 443 watts specifically, and they want to give us some range. And also remember, we want to be in the sweet spot of efficiency, right? So whatever power supply you get, just remember that it's most efficient at about 50% load. You're super efficient there, and then also it's more quiet when you're at 50% load, because if you go more than 50%, then it starts to have to cool more. But you're not always pushing at that power. That's only when you're pushing your CPU hard, like you're gaming or you're doing some video rendering or image rendering or some graphics rendering, right? So now going back to the calculator, so if we get a 750 watt power supply, we'll be using around 59% of the power rating. So 750 watt power supply is where we decide to go, because we want to be at around at 50% at full load, so that it stays quiet, right? So 750 watt is what we went with. Make sure that it's as quiet as possible, and it's efficient, so it lasts a long time. Because when you run your power supply at the lower load and you run it at low temperatures, then the components are going to last a lot longer, versus if you're stressing it out more, it's not going to last as long. So not only do we have 10-year warranty to back it up, we're pretty much confident that in 10 years it's still going to overlast its 10-year. And I've used very efficient power supplies in the past too. I've always went with Seasonic power supply, and that's why my old power supply is over 10 years and it still works fine. In fact, I was thinking of using the old power supply for this build because I couldn't find a good deal on a power supply, but I'm lucky I found this deal because we've been searching for a long time. Plus, Jeremy needed one too, so since I bought Jeremy one, might as well buy myself one, right too? Right? So I also got one too, a 750 watt Seasonic power supply. And therefore, I'm thinking for my system, using a Ryzen 9 3950. So remember, mine is a little bit more powerful than this. Jeremy and I both have the 3950X, so a little bit more powerful. And we're pretty conservative on the number of drives too. So probably around 750 watt power supply at full load, we're only going to use 95% of it. So that means, and we're not always going to be pushing it. In fact, we're never going to push it at full load, right? We're going to be gaming, and then, you know, during the game, the CPU is not going to work as hard because now it's using graphics card. And then during the loading stages, the CPU is working harder, but then the graphics is chilling because this is displaying the animation for the loading stage. So we're probably going to be at 40% really most of the time, or maybe 50%, which is sweet because that means we're going to be in the silent mode of the operation. So if we were using even less power, we'll definitely be in the more silent mode here. So 750 watt is what we came up with, and that's what we were looking for. And this power supply came in the market at the right time because we're definitely looking for a power supply for our build, and we've been searching for weeks. I mean, look at this. You go on Newegg, you're trying to find a 750 watt power supply, and it's $214. Come on, guys, that's too expensive. You go to Amazon and $120. But it wasn't this price earlier. It literally, if you actually search Amazon and you go to the wrong listing, it can hurt you too. So check this out. If I go to Amazon and I just search for 750 watt power supply, right? If I go to the wrong rating, the wrong listing, I think this one, check this out. I go to this wrong listing and look how much it costs. $161. Seriously. And then there's no option to get. Do I have the option to buy cheaper? No, I don't. See, if I didn't know better and I went to Amazon and I clicked on this listing, you see this is a GM 750. This is the one I want to buy. 750 watt, 80 plus goals. Oh, this one says semi-modular. Oh, this is a GM. This is not the GX that we're buying. So the GM is even worse than the GX. You see, it only has 7-year warranty, and it's also only semi-modular. So you have 2 down points. It's only semi-modular and it's 3 years less in warranty, but it costs more. Look at that, $161. So there's no reason why you guys shouldn't get this one, 750 watt, fully modular, 10-year warranty for $120. I mean, that price is just, it speaks for itself. And so if you look for other stuff at Newegg, you'll see that if you go for like their semi-modular line and you look for 750 watt power supply, let's see if this is in stock. Okay, so this is actually in stock at Newegg, but it's $117. You're only saving $2. But remember, this one is the 750 watt GM series, which means it's only semi-modular, right? Only semi-modular, and it only has 7-year warranty. So wouldn't you want to pay $2 more and buy it on Amazon for $120, plus you get 10-year warranty and you get fully modular power supply, right? So all the good stuff, 120 bucks. This is really sweet. So let's look at some of the features that it offers, right? Oh, also, you guys should know if you need an ATX power supply or a different size power supply. The ATX power supply is the standard size of power supply. This is ATX, where is it? Yeah, so this is the ATX system, which means it needs to be 140 millimeter deep and fits ATX system. So if you're building like ITX motherboards or you're building really small computers, make sure you know what power supply you need. I'm not familiar with those, to be honest. I just built ATX systems, and ATX is the majority of what people build. So if you have a regular motherboard, then ATX system is what you have. So this is an ATX power supply. Just keep that in mind that if you are using other types of motherboard, just make sure that you get the right power supply for your board. We also talked about the full modularity of it, right? So you can use only the cables you need to reduce clutter and maximize airflow for better ventilation in your system. Also, it looks better when you don't have all those cables cluttering your system, especially if you have a gaming PC and you have all the wires nicely laid out. You can have customized modular wires that's RGB or just even nicely color coded. So definitely looks good and also improves airflow. And also you don't need to have the cables in there that you don't need. So fully modular, huge benefit to that. You got the 80 plus gold. We talked about that. There's always a wiki article. Basically 80 plus gold is here, and it means it's very efficient, whether it's 20% load, 50% load, or 100% load. And we're looking at the 115 volt because that's in the United States. We're using 115 volt right there. The premium hybrid fan control. So this is something that Seasonic offers that other manufacturer power supplies don't even offer, or they might have a similar version of it. But basically, this one is really cool because, as we saw in the picture before, between 0 to 30% load, it's silent. The fan doesn't even turn on. And between 30 to 50%, it's in silent mode, which means the fan is just barely spinning, very quiet. And then between 50 to 100%, the fan starts to spin up relative to how much load you have to start cooling it down. And then you're not going to be at 100% load or even 90% load very long. In fact, if you are at 100% load or 90% load very long, that means you should get a power supply that's a higher rating because you want to be at the sweet spot. The sweet spot would probably, I would say, you probably want to hang out at maybe more than 50%, but so obviously the sweetest spot is at 50%, but you're kind of splurging on money if you buy a power supply, only plan to be there at 50%. So maybe be at like 60 or 65% is your optimal full load. Then you have so much wiggle room. You're definitely splurging, but at the same time, you're using a more efficient power supply. So the power supply is running much cooler, and because it's running cooler, there's supplies and components. The components inside will last much longer. So again, that's why we went with a 750 watt power supply. So now we're talking about the premium hybrid fan control, right? So it has unsuppressed silent performance in fanless mode. Remember, that's between 0 to 20%, it's fanless. Then the fan control button at the back of the button allows users to customize the cooling need by selecting between the Seasonic S2FC fan control without fanless mode and the S3FC mode fan control including the fanless mode. So you can choose if you want to have fanless mode or without fanless mode. I kind of think I want the fanless mode because I don't want the fan to always be spinning. I want the fan just to be chill, quiet when it's at 20% load. But you can choose. I mean, some people probably feel more comfortable with the fan just kind of spinning almost silently at 0% load. Like, I guess it looks funny if your computer's on but your power supply fan is off, right? I think people have a peace of mind if they look at the power supply, they want the fan to be spinning even though they're between 0 to 20% load. So you have a choice. That's why there's a button in the back of the case. I believe we can see the button right there. So here, this button here, you can select between it being completely stopping the fan between 0 to 20% load, or have it spin very slowly between 0 to 20% load. It's up to you, because we have a fanless mode. Oh, it's between 0 and 30% load. So you can have it either spin very slowly here in silent mode. So basically that button lets you have the curve to look just the way it is, like this, or you can have the curve just kind of extend here, right? So even at 0% load to 30% load, it's still spinning at the same fan speed as in silent mode. So if you push that button between 0 to 50% load, then the fan is very quiet, and above 50% it starts to ramp up. Or if you have the fanless mode, between 0 to 30% it's completely silent, and then between 30 to 50% the fan kicks on. I guess it's going to be a little bit annoying if you're hovering around 30%, then the fan spins on, turns off, spins on, turns off, spins on, turns off. That would actually be bad. So that's one reason, I guess, why they have that button in the back there, because if you're at 30% and you're bouncing between like 28 to 32% back and forth, then that's going to put stress on your fan, because it's constantly turning on, off, on, off, on, off, which is never bad, never good for electronics. It's bad, it's very bad if you're constantly turning on and off stuff. So that's probably why they have that option to either disable fanless mode or keep it on. I think I'm going to keep it on unless I find I'm hovering at 30% a lot. That would be not ideal. So, okay, that's the hybrid mode, right? And the option there. And then you got the 10-year warranty with it. Worry-free warranty. Their commitment to superior quality. And I would not hesitate to go with Seasonic, because they are one of the best brands out there in terms of power supply. So let's see what else they have here. Yeah, we're using the GX. So the GX series, fully modular, and they come in 550 watt, 650 watt, 750 watt, 850 watt, and 1000 watt power rating. And the fully modular ones are 80 plus gold. Yes. And we're sticking right in the middle at 750 watt. Remember, if you want to know what power rating you need, just go to a website like Be Quiet Power Supply Calculator, or Seasonic has one. You can go to seasonic.com and look for power supply calculator. And basically you enter in your CPU, your devices, and then your memory slots that you're using, your video card, the fans, and the storage, and it calculates and gives you an estimate of what you would need. Of course, it tells me, okay, I probably need about 443 watts, but it also says it recommends at least a 550 watt power supply. But if I use this, I'm always going to be at 81% if I'm at max load. Or I can get something that has more wiggle room, like a 650 watt, or I can get something with a lot of wiggle room and get something like a 750 watt power supply, which I did. So that means at full load, I'm only at 59% usage. That means I'm going to be hanging around on quite lower than 50% utilization, which means for my system, I will be at the highest efficiency of the power supply curve. And you can see right here, it's most efficient at 50% right there. Boom. So I'm going to be very efficient. I'm going to be at pretty much 90% efficiency, pulling power from the wall AC, convert that to DC. I'm going to be 90% efficiency, because I'm only going to be loading the power supply at 50% load. And again, at 50% load, things are going to be quieter and things are going to be cooler, so they're going to run a lot longer. So that is why I went with the 750 watt power supply. And based on what your system is, you might want to buy accordingly too. But like I said earlier, right now the deal is really for the 750 watt power supply. You can get the 650 watt power supply to save $5 if you wanted to, or you can get the 550 watt power supply to save another $5, which now is sold out, so you can't even get that. So your choice is really between a 750 watt power supply for 120 or a 650 watt power supply for 115. No brainer. Go with the 750 watt. Even if you don't need it, just go with the 750 watt power supply, because you're going to be at, most computers will be at the sweet spot of their PCs. Now, there is a time when having too much of a power supply is not good. As you can see, this is a curve, right? So being at 50% load is actually where you're most efficient of the power supply. If you use more load, then of course it's not efficient. And actually, if you're using less power, ironically, it's less efficient too. So you want to be at 50% where you're using your computer the most. So for me, maybe a little bit of a lower power supply might even be better, because at max load, I'll be at 50%, which means at max load, I'll be at 59%, which means at normal load, I might be even closer to like 35-40%, which means I'm not 90% efficiency, but it is what it is, right? And this is a good power supply and it's on sale. And also later on, if I decide to upgrade my video card to something beefier, like a 2080 Ti, or maybe the next generation of video cards, a 3080 Ti, then shoot, I would be really happy that I have this power supply, right? And also, if you're using the power supply at the lower wattage, then you're running the components much cooler and they'll last longer. So this will last me way over 10 years. I'm pretty much guaranteed myself that unless something goes crazy wrong, it's going to last over the 10 years. Well, within the 10 years, I know that they have worry-free warranty, so Seasonic will take care of me within 10 years. And after 10 years, I'm sure it's going to continue to work out really well for me. So this power supply is like a lifelong investment. It's probably going to be with me for the rest of my life. It's going to last a very, very long time. I shouldn't say that because I hope I live longer than the next 10 years. But yeah, it should last a long time. And you see 84% 5-star reviews. People love it. It's modular. It looks good. Let's look at some of the customer's image here. Yeah, really clean installation. Beautiful power supply there. It just looks gorgeous. Fully modular. Only plug in the cable you need. Oh yeah, and this guy says, or this person says, oh, this one is actually interesting. There's actually a negative review. But of course there's going to be people that have negative. I'm actually curious now, what is that negative review talking about? Let's take a look at it real quick. So was it here? Not factory sealed and both faulty. Well, this is, I mean, okay, so they got bad experience with the shipment. And this is in the UK. So I wouldn't worry about that because you're buying from Amazon, and this is a Seasonic product. And who's shipping this right now? It's shipped and sold by Amazon. So basically, Amazon has these in stock and they certified it comes from Seasonic already, and they're gonna ship it from the warehouse. It'll be fine. I don't think you have to worry about that low rating. And if you do have a problem with the power supply, they're faulty or bad, send it back to Amazon within 30 days or within 10 years, go to Seasonic and they'll take care of it for you, right? So let's look at some of the other reviews that are bad too. I think I saw a bad review here. This one says, one of the best power supply options for space constraint cases. Its fan, however, can be a hit or miss. The one I have is a miss. Huh, interesting. So let me actually read this. I wanted to move my main computer from a mid-tow ATX to something smaller. I eventually decided on the Silverstone SG13 case as I could reuse most of the components. However, one thing I did have to change is going from a full-length ATX power supply to something shallower. The Silverstone recommends the ATX PSU to be no more than 140 millimeters in depth if you want to use the drive cage in the SG13. So after doing research, this person found that the power supply, okay, so they're using a Seasonic Prime Ultra Gold power supply, so it's not even related. This is the Prime power supply, so it's not even related to this particular power supply, so let's not worry about that. So what they're worrying about is the sizing and the fitment of the power supply. That's not even an issue. You should make sure that you have a case that fits this power supply. So this is a compact power supply, and if you have an ATX case, this should fit no problem. So that's the bad review. So lovely power supply. This one says, rather than focus on technical aspects as others have noted, and such information can be found on professional review sites, I would rather focus on how the product feels to the user. Yes, S. Johnson. I like this review. I could tell right away I love this review just because, you know, the tech specs are there, they're premium, but with Seasonic, there's intrinsic value in there that's not just the tech spec. That's the other stuff. First off, it's a beautiful power supply. This power supply has thick applied power coating of matted black paint that will not scratch. Oh, that's sweet. Because you know, when you're installing a power supply in your case, you're gonna hit it between like other components and you're gonna scratch it and it's like, oh, it's gonna look bad. But don't worry because this one has thickly applied power-coated matte black paint that won't scratch, at least it won't scratch easily. It has a professional, non-flashy finish, so it's matte black, it looks good. Hey, what's going up, Rafi? GI! Yes, thanks for stopping by the stream. Thanks for saying hi and leaving a comment. And don't forget to thumbs up this video if you like it. We're talking about power supply, and if you're building a computer and you're trying to buy a power supply, look at the Seasonic GX750 power supply on Amazon, link down below. It's the best deal you can get right now for a 750 watt power supply that's fully modular, that comes from a reputable brand like Seasonic, and it's got 10-year warranty, and it's a 80 plus gold efficiency rating, so it's a really good power supply. So check it out. We're looking at some of the reviews here, and this review also goes into say, because it's not flashy, it blends beautifully into whatever build you decide to install the power supply into. This product is fully modular, allowing the user to install only the cables he or she needs and none that they do not. Everything is built onto a single 12-volt rail, so there will be no concerns for the user regarding load balancing. Oh, that's also another thing, because some power supplies use multiple 12 volts rail and they're not the same thing, and if you want to be efficiency, you have to balance between the two rails and use enough from each rail instead of using all the power from one rail. This one only has one rail and it's already balanced for that. Additionally, the power supply comes with a 10-year warranty against manufacturing defects, which is industrial leading and shows the confidence that Seasonic places into their product. Also, S. Johnson goes on to say, finally, the power supply came with features that I've never seen before, and that's a switch that activates the Seasonic hybrid silent fan control. Remember what we talked about earlier? This switch, when activated, puts the PSU power supply fan into 3 phases. Fanless mode, that's when you're at 0 to 30% efficiency. Silent mode, that's between you're at 30% to 50% efficiency. And cooling mode, that's when you're above 50% efficiency. Or 50% load, these are loads, sorry. Fanless mode is between 0 to 30% load, and then silent mode is between 30 to 50% load, and then cooling mode is above 50% load. This allows the user to lower the noise in their chassis without reducing power delivery. And when when this power supply delivers 90% efficiency at 50% load, you'll likely never hear the fan. So it's even at like the cooling mode, at 50% load, it's so quiet you probably won't hear it, is what they're saying. So this is a fantastic piece of equipment for any modern gaming PC, home theater PC, or mining machine. I have purchased numerous Seasonic power supplies in the past, and I continue to be impressed with their product quality. With a 10-year warranty and a professional reserved look, it's not hard to recommend this series of power supply to anyone looking to build or update a new system. Beautiful, beautiful review, S. Johnson. Thank you for writing that, and thank you for, I hope you don't mind me reading this on this live stream, because this is a great review and I could not say it better myself. In fact, I can't say it better myself. I've used a lot of Seasonic power supply, but I haven't used this one particularly. I just bought 2 of them, so it hasn't arrived yet. I haven't used it, but thank you for giving me feedback on how well that button works in the back about the Seasonic hybrid silent fan control, and also the fact that it uses a single 12-volt rail. I did not know that. That's pretty sweet. So there's a review here that says it's a hit or miss, giving it a 3-star out of 5. Let's see what this. Oh yeah, this is earlier. This is the one with different power supply. This is a prime power supply. This is a different one. In fact, if you want, you can look at the prime power supply. It's also down in the link right below, right here. If you click on this one is the Seasonic prime power supply. These ones are very unique in that they are actually fanless. They're designed to be super quiet and there's no fan. Everything is passively cooled. If you really wanted a quiet power supply, I would get this, but it's not very practical. I mean, you're spending a lot of money. You're spending $145 for only 450 watt power supply. So take it with a grain of salt. It doesn't have a fan, but at the same time, the rest of your computer has fans. You have a fan, whether you're using air cool or water cooling, you still have a fan that cools your CPU. And a graphics card, modern graphics card, it's gotta have a fan, so you're cooling your graphics card. And then your hard drives are spinning. Well, maybe if you have a more modern computer, you don't have any spinning hard drives. So yeah, at least you have two fans. Oh, you have case fans, right? So you have case fans that control airflow, and you have CPU fans, and then you have graphics card fans. So you're gonna have some fan. So just eliminating one fan on the power supply is not gonna help. That's why I don't really have any interest on a completely fanless power supply, because I know in my computer I have other fans, the case fans, the CPU fans, and the graphics card fan. And the fact that the power supply I'm recommending here, the Seasonic GX750 power supply, it also has a very quiet fan. Remember, this fan, this power supply has a button in the back, so you can have a pretty much fanless mode. So if you're using between 0 to 30% load, it's fanless. So let's see, between 0 to 30% load. At 30% load, how much power am I using? Let me see. At a 750 watt power supply. So if I look at 750 watt power supply at 30% load, that's around 225 volts. Okay, 225 watt. So I probably won't be that when I'm gaming, but maybe when I'm just idling, I will be there. It's gonna be completely silent. And then even between 30 to 50% load, it's still gonna spin very quiet. So, and 50% load at 750 watt, that's gonna be about 375 volts, 375 watts, right? So it's more reasonable to like light gaming, and it'll be pretty much silent anyway. So that's why I recommend this power supply, because it's got everything you need in terms of a power supply at a very good price. It's got Seasonic brand, really high quality, top tier brand, 750 watt, so you know you have enough juice for a modern top of the line CPU as well as a top of the line graphics card in the computer with a couple of hard drives. Piece of cake, this thing will handle it. You could probably have 2 graphics cards and this thing could handle it. This 750 watt is a lot, guys. 80 plus rating, so it's very efficient at between all of its rating. Like we look at the Wikipedia, right? So 80 plus gold here, you're close to 90% on all the loads, 20%, 50%, 100% load, right? So again, you got 750 watt, reputable brand, Seasonic, top tier brand, 750 watt power rating, 80 plus gold efficiency rating, fully modular, and it's very quiet fan and 10-year warranty, and it's only $120, and it's gonna be in stock in July 30th, July 29th, so order it now and get that shipped to you much sooner. Wait, how do I get free delivery for Prime members that soon? That's weird. Is it possible that I get it delivered before it's in stock? That doesn't make sense. Anyway, I ordered 2 of them, and it will arrive very soon, so I'll let you know when it arrives. But I ordered one for myself and one for my business partner, Jeremy, who's working with me on a lot of these videos. Basically, we've been doing a lot of online streaming, so we decided to build out a supercomputer for streaming. Both of us want better computers for better streaming ability, so we can stream and broadcast in many different platforms at once. Also, so that we can game on these machines, and we can game and stream at the same time as well. So that's why we buy beefier CPUs and beefier graphics card, which means we need beefier power supply, and that's why we picked up the 750 watt Seasonic GX750 Gold from Amazon for only $120, and it's fully modular to boot with 10-year warranty. I love this. It's so great. Such awesome power supply. Really high quality. Like the paint is well done with thick matted powder coated black paint that doesn't scratch easy. You got as Justin said, a single 12-volt rail, so you don't have to worry about balancing it. And you got the power the fan mode button in the back, so you can control how the fan operates. And even below 50% load, it's almost quiet, almost silent. You can't hear it. So everyone's saying great things about it. And of course, since we're on the note of power supply, just in case this one's out of stock, you could be okay going with the 650 watt version of it. I personally wouldn't recommend this if the 750 volt. Sorry, I keep on saying volt. If the 750 watt version is available, don't save $5 and get the 650 watt version. You're only saving $5, and at the end of it, you're probably going to save more money in terms of power efficiency coming from the wall using the 750 watt power supply, because it's going to be more efficient at 50% load. So calculate how much load that you're going to be using most of the time, and at 50% load of a power supply, just keep in mind that's when it's the most efficient. So I mean, for $5, it's a no-brainer for me. I would get the 750 watt anyway, because you're always going to be upgrading your computer in the long run. Plus, when you have 750 watt, that means you're going to be stressing the components less, and when you're using them lower power, that means they're going to run cooler and they're going to also last longer. So this is a 650 watt version. I don't recommend this. If you can get the 750 watt version, if this one's in stock, it's only $5 more, guys. Let me just click refresh to see if it's still in stock. I hope it's still in stock. Yes, it's still in stock, so you guys can still get it. Because some of the times when I'm doing this video, I hit refresh and they're sold out. In fact, when I was making this video, I also saw this one, the GX 550, which is the 550 watt version, and it was in stock when I was making this video. It was only $110, but now it's out of stock in terms of shipping from Amazon, and now you can buy from these these resellers that sell it for a 50% premium, $150, $160, a used one for $160. So definitely go with this one, this GX 750, for just $120, 750 watt, fully modular, 80 plus gold, coming from a reputable, can't even say that anymore, reputable, top tier brand, Seasonic, and you got 10-year warranty, and it's fully modular, and the fan runs almost in silence, and when it actually does need to cool, it's pretty quiet. So, and the reviews speak for itself, guys. The reviews are just boom, 84%, 5-star reviews. Some bad reviews here because people just aren't fortunate to get a good working sample, and if they're not getting a good one, just remember you can always contact Amazon, and Amazon will take care of you within 30 days, and within 10 years contact Seasonic because they'll take care of you. They are really good with customer service, and this is a testament about how much trust and how much faith they believe in the quality of their power supply. You look at other brands of power supply like EVGA, right? They have an 80 plus gold, 850 watt power supply. This one is semi-modular, costs $109, but look at this, you only get 5-year warranty, right? Whereas the Seasonic, you're getting 10-year warranty. Seriously, if this thing breaks down in 10 years, you can still get a brand new, you can get them to fix it for you. And 10 years is a long time. You might be upgrading your computer like 3-4 times within 10 years. Well, I'm the exception. My last computer was 10 years ago. i7 2600K, but I'm the exception because I bought other computers. I bought a lot of Macs in between. Now I'm actually going back to a PC, which is why I still have my old PC from 10 years ago. But 10 years, you'll probably be upgrading your PC to a more powerful CPU, for a more powerful graphics card, but you'll always be using the ATX standard because that's the standard for the last like 20 years or 25, 30 years. I don't remember when ATX standard has been around, but it's been around for at least 20 years. So you'll be using the same standard, and you'll have a great life with this power supply. It's gonna last you a very long time. So definitely $120 for a power supply that's gonna be with you for 10 years that you're never gonna outgrow. I really think you're never gonna outgrow this unless you go super crazy. You buy like a Threadripper with 64 cores and 2 graphics card or 3 graphics card. Then we're on a different boat. Then if you have money to buy something like that, then you have money to upgrade your power supply. But this one will last you 10 years, and if you ever want to upgrade something else, you can always have this in your backup computer, like a home theater PC or just like a separate PC to do rendering, or a separate PC to do streaming, or because if you have like a gaming PC and a streaming PC, you can separate them if you want. So you can do a lot of things with this power supply, and it's gonna last you 10 years. 10 years, guys. It's gonna last you a very, very long time, and it's a very high rated power supply. 750 watt is highly rated. You're probably not gonna outgrow this ever if you're just gonna be a gamer, because even if you have tons of money to buy a supercomputer, when you're gaming, it's not really about the CPU only, it's about the graphics card, and graphics cards typically are not going to draw more than 750 watt in the system, so you'll be plenty fine. Oh, Daniel Frank says, yeah, Daniel Frank, this looks nice, thanks for the review. Yeah, absolutely, glad you came by and stopped by. Daniel Frank is a good friend of mine and a good fan of this channel. In fact, one thing I should also mention before we end this review is if you are interested in a good microphone, check out this microphone right here. This is a really good microphone. Just I'm gonna add this to the product line down below so you can see it. This is a really good microphone for the price. Let me add this to the live stream so you guys can see it. Give me one moment as I add this item to the live stream. And I'll actually demonstrate this microphone for you right now. One moment as I demonstrate this awesome microphone here. So, and I should also say that if you are interested in this microphone, let's see, yes, if you are interested in this microphone, enter the code UTECHPIA for 15% off. That will take this microphone to only $34. Let me actually demonstrate this microphone for you guys. And I actually have this microphone right here with me. It's a very, very extremely affordable microphone, and it sounds really good for the price. The only reason why I'm not using it right now is because I have a $600 lapel mic that I like because I can move around and not have to have a microphone in my setup. But if I'm okay with having a microphone like this, check out the quality of this microphone. This microphone is going to sound better than my $600 lapel microphone system right now. So now I just switched over to this Tonar TC777 microphone, and this thing sounds really good, right? It has a fuller and more complete sound, and the cool part about it is it only costs $40. But with the coupon code, if you enter the coupon code UTECHPIA, just like the channel name, you save 15% off this microphone, and that makes it only $34. It comes with this pop filter. Pop filter is really important too because look, if I say P words, you can hear the pop, 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 pop. You see, pop filter takes out the annoying sound when you make P's. It also includes the shock mounts right here. Love the shock mount. It helps absorb the noise from your desk to the microphone. Also, it comes with the stand too, so the stand is awesome. It helps position the microphone wherever you want, and the stand has adjustable feet too, so at this level it's very flat. I can leave it right on the bottom, or I can move it up to this level here and it clicks to this adjustable level right here because there's notches, and it clicks to it. And then now I'm at a higher level, so if I wanted to, I can use the microphone. Oh, sorry, there it is. I can use it at this level, right? But I kind of want it as flat as possible, so that way it's out of the screen for you as much as possible. But all this, if you size up just the components, the pop filter, the shock mount, the tabletop stand, that's already $50 worth of components. Oh, also I forgot to include, it also includes this lovely wind filter as well. So if you include all the components here, that's already $50, and you're not including the microphone. So imagine all this. Normal price is $40, but if you enter the coupon code UTECHPIA, you save 15%, taking this down to only $34. Really, really good microphone. Check that out if you're into the streaming microphone, whether you're using for gaming, whether you're using for webcam, or whether you're using for conferences like Zoom, Skype, Google Hangouts, or any other like go-to meetings or any conference call. This sounds really good because if you don't have a microphone like this and you're using your webcam, you know how bad the webcam sounds. Let me actually show you how my webcam sounds right now. So right now you should hear a really teeny voice and a very big echo because I'm using my webcam, the webcam audio. It's terrible, right? And then you can tell instantly when I switch over to this, it sounds so much better. And this thing, only $39.99 on Amazon right now. Or if you use the coupon code UTECHPIA as you check out, it's only $34. So check this out. Really cool microphone. But yeah, that's it. I wanted to make this video. Let me actually switch over to my normal audio. And as you see, my normal audio is not even that good. It's just that I like this lapel microphone so I can move around. And I can move anywhere and not have to have the microphone on the stage. But what we really want to highlight in this video is this Seasonic power supply. And I just picked up two of these, one for myself and one for my business partner. And I am absolutely in love with this power supply. I ordered it today, as you can see right here. I got two of them, one for myself and one for my business partner. And we're building out supercomputers. We're building out a Ryzen 3950X CPU. That's a 16-thread, 32-core CPU with a with the RTX 2070 Super video card. It's gonna be perfect for us to live stream to multiple platforms as well as game at 1080p, 1440p, and even 4K gaming if we wanted to. And we can use ray tracing, definitely ray tracing it at 1080p. So, and it also has an NVIDIA chip on this 270X graphics card. So it's awesome. And then we got this power supply to kind of to kind of power everything up, right? And it's a really good power supply. And we've been searching for a long time to find a good power supply that's in stock, right? And I'm happy to say that Amazon finally got these in stock, because I was just looking on Newegg, and the same power supply on Newegg right here, 750 watt, the GX750, it's $215 on Newegg. But if you go over to Amazon, it's only $120. And this is a really good power supply because it comes from a really good brand, Seasonic, which is a top tier brand in power supply. They've been around for so long, and my Seasonic power supply that I bought over 10 years ago still works right now. This one is a 750 watt power supply. It's got an 80 plus gold rating, and it's fully modular, which means there's no cables that, it comes with all the cables, but you can choose which cable you install and which cable that you don't want installed. So you can have your choice of whatever setup you want. Plus you can have RGB cables, or you can have custom cables, whatever you want. And it's got really quiet fan modes. So it comes to all the cables you need as well. But basically, if you are between 0 to 30% load, it's fanless. Between 30 to 50%, it's in silent mode. And then above 50%, it starts to spin up the fan just so I can cool it down for you. So really good power supply. And efficiency, it's an 80 plus gold. So that means you are getting 90% efficiency at the 50% load, and at 100% load, you're at like 87% load. Or at 100% load, you're at 80% efficiency. So it's very efficient at drawing power from your AC wall, converting that to DC for your computer. So super efficient power supply, 10-year warranty, very quiet operation, fully modular, 80 plus gold efficiency, so high efficiency, 750 watt of power, and coming from a good brand, Seasonic. They got good quality materials here. So good quality material, it means the components inside are run cooler, they last longer, and they don't have electrical buzz as cheaper power supplies do. They even wrap their power supply in a beautiful case sleeve bag for you. All your components are really nice wired here, and you only need to install the wires that you want to use. You don't have to install the wires, so it's very clean. So yeah, in a nutshell, that is this video. Oh yay! Oh, Wio says, hey, what's up? And yes, RTX is better. Yes. So basically, if you're talking about the difference between a GTX and RTX, yes, RTX is better in that it includes ray tracing technology. So any RTX graphics card can do ray tracing. But right now, ray tracing is more of an eye candy than something that's practical, because if you're running at the bare minimum of a graphics card and you're trying to get enough frames per second, it's better to turn off ray tracing to just get smooth frames than to turn on the eye candy and deal with like a laggy frame rate. But to answer your question, yes, RTX is better because it has the ray tracing technology in their graphics card versus GTX. Yep. And don't forget to like this video if you haven't done so. We've only got 1 like in this video. Come on guys, like this video. I know you guys are watching, so please thumbs up the video, support this channel, much appreciated. And with that, we are wrapping it up. If you have any questions, let me know in the comments down below. I'm gonna stick around for 3 seconds for comments, 2 seconds, comments, 1 second, no comments? All right, well, grab yourself a power supply before it goes out of stock. Let me hit refresh one more time. Let me see if it's still in stock. Yes, it's still in stock. Grab it, guys. 750 watt, 80 plus gold, efficiency rating, fully modular, quiet fan operation, 10-year warranty, all coming from Seasonic brand. You got 10-year warranty from a brand that's top tier. And it's $120, and it's gonna be in stock on Amazon, and it's gonna be shipping from Amazon, so you know customer service with Amazon is gonna be great within the first 30 days. If you have any problems, let Amazon take care of it for you. After that, within the first 10 years, let Seasonic take care of it for you. This power supply will be with you for a very, very, very long time. But Until next time, I'm going to sign out. So thank you so much for watching. I hope you guys are healthy. I hope you guys stay healthy and I hope you guys stay safe. Take care and have a great day. I will see you guys next time. Bye. Signing out. All right, we are signing out. Signing out. And we are